Good evening. Talking tonight about what is the worst that can happen. Picking up the courage, starting to push forward with your dreams. Now, obviously, that's what we talk about all the time here on these calls, is really picking up the courage to pursue your dreams and actively starting to push forward towards where it is that you want to go in life. So tonight, what I really want to discuss is actually starting to take action and move forward towards what it is that you want to happen. Now, what is the worst that could happen is kind of how I want to frame out everything that we're going to be talking about today. Walt Disney's got a great quote: all your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. Now, for me, I think this is just super pertinent to everything that we do. All of your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. Now, the important thing here is that, courage is something that you develop over time. Courage is something that you may not at this point think that you've got. It may be something that whenever you start to think about moving forward with your dreams, you could have this sick feeling in your stomach. You may think, I can't do this. You may start to think of everything that can possibly go wrong. Now, the key thing is to look and really wheel back to the question that I asked right at the start of this. What is the very worst that could happen? And are the things that you want in your life, are those dreams, are those goals, is it worth taking some form of action? Okay, really important questions to ask. Because, when you look and you wonder, and have you ever thought to yourself and wondered how it is that all the great successful people in the world, how it is that they achieve it? How is it that the people around you that you see being successful? We've all got people around us that we look at them and their lives, and they've got great achievements. They're really pushing forward. They're doing great things, and commonly we look at them and wonder how it is that they're doing what it is that they're doing. And it really does come down to that one thing: it's courage. Okay, really importantly, everybody has fear. If you've got some fear, you're 100% not alone. You're not the only person who has fear in their life. We all have it. Okay, it's something really important to frame right from the outset. Anybody who in anything in life has self-doubt. Anybody in life has fear. Everybody has nerves. Whatever they do, no matter how comfortable you are in anything, you are nervous, you have fear. So wherever it is that you are in your journey, whether you keep thinking about getting started, but you've just not been able to. Whether you are some way down through your journey, but you're questioning yourself. You've made some progress, but you keep thinking to yourself, God, I don't know if I can make it. Can I be successful? Am I worthy of this? The key thing is we all have fear. We all have self-doubt. Okay? Now, courage is not a lack of fear. It isn't. It's moving forward in spite of fear. Having fear and moving forward anyway. Taking a logical look at what it is that's happening around you and determining what is the worst that could happen. Dealing with that fear, being composed. If there's hard times, if things challenge you, if you doubt yourself, staying composed. And again, looking rationally and going, well, what is the worst that could happen? You deal with that fear, you face it. And when things go wrong, you get up again. You don't stay lay down, you don't stay beat up, you don't stay being a victim to the world. When things don't work out the way that you want, when you have those bad days, you get up and you move forward, because that is how you build that strength. Courage is something that comes through activity. Courage isn't something that people are born with. Yes, some people are quite naturally confident, but you can be absolutely anything that you want to be. At any given point in time, you can make a decision and say, from this point forward, I am going to be this. I'm going to have these characteristics. I'm going to be like that person. I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to be outgoing. I'm going to be a person who takes action. I'm going to be a person who's fit, who's healthy. I'm going to be someone who's educated. I'm going to learn to speak well. I'm going to be a good presenter, whatever it be. You can make the decision to be that person at any given moment in time. The key thing is then to understand what it is that those people do in order to be whatever it is that you want to be. And then make those actions, take that action, prove to yourself on a day-to-day basis that you can be that. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that if you start to play the guitar, that you're going to be Bob Dylan or whoever after, a week. But if you play the guitar every single day, that makes you a guitar player. That makes you a musician. Every master was once a disaster. And until you start, there's no way that you can hone your skills. There's no way you can make your 10,000 hours that it takes to be a master of anything. The key thing is to start. And you can be anything, and all you do is you prove to yourself every single day that you're making some progress. Every single day, if you're playing the guitar, every single time you can play something a little bit better, you can play something a little bit more complex, you can remember a song without needing the music. Every single day that you do that, you're proving to yourself that you're a musician, and you get that confidence. Not necessarily that you're going to be able to play in front of your friends or in front of a crowd anytime soon, but maybe at some point. So really important to go, that it's about conquering small fears one at a time. People who are gymnasts, they don't start by going on the parallel bars and spinning and swinging and jumping and all that kind of stuff. They start by just swinging. And they have people, you look at them in the Olympics, the best of the best, and they've still got someone there to catch them. When they're doing their routines, if they're gonna fall, there's someone there to catch them. Because everybody just needs a little bit of support, and it needs practice. And you don't start at the heights of the heights, you start at the low, and you build up your confidence over time by proving that you can do that little bit. So important, great quote from Mark Twain: courage is resistance to fear or mastery of fear, not the absence of fear. Fantastic quote from Mark Twain there. And something that I feel is so important around everything that you want to do in life. Is around journaling in the evening and gratitude in the morning. I think it's so important that we think about the things that are good in life, and also to think about what it is we want from life. So start your day with gratitude, and end your day with your dreams. Because fear and procrastination cannot live in those two zones. Start your day with gratitude, end your day with your dreams, because fear and procrastination cannot live there. When you start your day by being grateful for what you have and thinking about what it is that you want, it sets your day up perfectly for exactly what you want from life. When you go to bed and you've journaled and you've written in your journal what it is you want from life, when you cosmic order, when you pray, whatever it be, when you write that down, it allows you to go to bed thinking about what it is that you want. And when you program your brain in that way, fear won't exist, because you'll just start to believe so much in what you want. Now, a big thing is with this is also the people that we're around. Okay, the reason I say this is so commonly whenever I'm speaking with my clients, why they're resistant, why they're not moving forward, and the procrastination towards their goals is the people that are around us. Now, we've got to acknowledge this, because unfortunately we've all got families, right? We've all got friends, we've all got those people around us who we maybe want support, but they're not giving it to us. Commonly, the people around us are our biggest energy vampires. I always talk about Harry Potter. They're like the Dementors, if you've not seen Harry Potter, I'm sorry, but if you have, the guys, they get around Harry and they're sucking the life out of him. That's what our friends and family are like when we want their support and they don't give it. By the way, guys, if you're jumping on, please do say hello. Hi, Dave, that's all it requires. If you're watching the replay, just pop a little thing in, say replay, let me know you're watching. Tag anyone in that you think needs to see this. And if you watch these regularly, please do hit the share button, share it out. I'd really appreciate that. That would be absolutely fantastic. So carry on with negative people. Great quote from Les Brown. I got a bit of a tongue twister there. I nearly said Wes Brown, who's a soccer player. Great quote from Les Brown. Okay, when you have hopes and dreams, you don't need anyone's opinion but your own. It's powerful, that. When you have hopes and dreams, you don't need anyone's opinion but your own, or approval but your own, sorry. Now, so interestingly, a lot of the time we share what it is that we want to do with people because we want their approval. We want their conversation. We want to speak about things. Now, the funny thing about people is that most people aren't really interested in what you're doing, especially when it comes to positive stuff. So like, you share with your life with people and be mindful of this. Watch as you go about your life over the next sort of couple of weeks. Whenever you talk to someone about something negative, generally they engage. So you say something's gone wrong, something's been bad at work, whatever it be, they're all over it. You know, people get involved, they love it, they love to get involved with the drama, ask you what's going on, oh, why have they done this, why are they doing that, oh, you know, and give you all their suggestions for life. People love it. The minute you talk about something good about your life, you know, like people go, hey, what's been going on? And you start to tell them about your work or whatever you've been doing, you just see like people's eyes like glaze over. They've asked you a question and then almost immediately disengaged. Like if you've had this, just like comment below and say, yep, I've had this. I've had this. Okay? It's like immediately, the second you start to talk about your life, they're not interested. Why? Because people love to talk about either themselves or problems. Like most people are negatively driven. Anything that's negative, they're all over it. Positive things, not so much. So when you're trying to tell them about your hopes, your dreams, your goals, most people not really bothered. They don't get involved. They don't try and help you. They don't try and inspire you. They don't try and, you know, find ways that they can help you. Most people are just like totally not interested. Now, really important when it comes to you and your dreams is who you choose to share them with. Okay, 1 second. So basically, oh, that didn't work. Perfect. Just realized one of my lights wasn't on. So basically, when you're sharing your dreams with people, it's really important to identify who it is that is around you. Okay, who are the people who you're spending time with? Who are the people that you have these conversations with? And identify the people who are uplifting and the people who are energy sapping. And it's really important to know who are your uplifters and who are the energy vampires. So important. Reason being like this, your vibe attracts your tribe, okay? Like attracts like. Good company attracts good company. So what you need to do is identify the people with whom you share your positive information with. And the reason for this is, whether you understand or believe in sort of vibration and energy and all this kind of stuff, but I believe it like this from reading a book called The Celestine Prophecy. If you've not read it, it's a great read. It's a bit woo-woo, so if you're kind of on your early journey of woo-woo, it's not too bad. If you love a bit of that stuff, get it read. Now, how they explain it in that is that in any single conversation, whether it be over the internet, whether it be face-to-face, on the phone, doesn't matter. Whenever you are having a conversation with someone or even just being around them, there's an energy exchange. So between you and me at the moment, there's an energy exchange and I'm sending energy through the internet to you. Okay? So hopefully I'm inspiring you and infusing you with positive vibes. Now, you can walk into a room and when you walk into a room, you can feel it. You can feel like when you get into a room and there's a real negative energy in there, can't you? You know, when you get in there, you're just like, oh, there's something not right here. Well, this is the case when you're around negative people. They love to like infuse negativity at each other. It's like this little battle. It's like, I put a bit onto you and I feel good because I'm unburdening my negative stuff on you and you do it back to me and we can both prove to each other that the world's rubbish, right? Now, when you're a positive person, you do that to a negative person, they literally just don't know how to handle it. You know, it's like you pour positivity towards them and they just like, whoa, and they just like absorb it. But the thing is the only thing they know how to do back then is then return fire with negativity. Are like not programmed to talk at your wavelength. So it's like negative stuff straight back. So really important to look and figure out who are the energy vampires, who are the Dementors, you know, off of Harry Potter, who are those guys versus Who are the guys that are positive, that when you talk to them, you're like bang, 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 energy, good flow coming between each other, and you're actually both lifting your vibration. So when you finish that conversation, you're like, yes, that was awesome. Now, you don't have to be all sort of spiritual woo-woo about it. You can just be like really logical and go like, when you speak to someone that's on your wavelength, it's totally uplifting. When you speak to somebody who's not, it's a massive downer, right? So really important to figure out who are the uplifters and who are the negative hippos. Because negative hippos, they live in a pit of mud and they love to just roll around in it and wallow with other people. And they're just sitting there in their muddy mess, stinking up the place, and they love to have company. They don't like being in that muddy pit alone, right? So just figure out who are the good people that inspire you and who are the negative hippos. Don't talk about the good stuff with the negative hippos. When you're with them, just like stick to talking at their language. Like, you know, if you talk to a kid, you're not going to tell them about your hopes and dreams. You're just going to talk rubbish with them. So like the people who are the negatives around you, identify them, because the worst thing to do is give your energy and your dreams to a dream stealer, because all they're going to do is be like that kid that breaks other people's toys and smashes them to bits. You're going to give it them. They're going to make you feel rubbish because they don't, you know, reflect back good vibes to you. Just not worth it. So pick the people that you're going to share your good stuff with, and the other people, the negative hippos, just kind of play in their game when you're with them and be all negative and talk about rubbish that's on the news and stuff like that, and listen to their days, you know, and don't necessarily try and speak about yours, because, you know, realistically they don't care. And especially with the dreams, don't tell them, because all they're going to do is tell you everything that could go wrong. The killer of so many people. You know, there's a great quote from Dr. Seuss. I love a good quote from Dr. Seuss, and he says, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind." Okay, really cool. You know, so be yourself. It's so important. You know, be who you are. You know, in your general life, don't pretend that you're not pushing forward with your dreams. Get out. Don't worry if people are looking at you and thinking, God, this guy's a crazy person. Just you go about your business and do what you've got to do. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need to, you know, seek their approval. A lot of people, you don't need their help. Just get out, do what you want to do, okay? Because the key thing is, you only have one life. So important, okay? Another great quote, don't be content with being average. Average is as close to the bottom as it is to the top. Right? I don't know where that quote originated, but it came from one of my mates, Luke Taylor. He said that back 10 years ago or something, when I used to think he was the most negative person in the world, but it's a quote that I love. So Lisa, if you watch this, tell Luke, don't be content with being average. Average is as close to the bottom as it is to the top. All right? What you've got to do is look and do something for you. Okay? There's no point in living an average life when you can choose to be a person who has a great life. You know, and having a great life can be as simple as literally just making the decision you're going to be happy every day. Making the decision that whatever it is that you've wanted to do, you're going to move forward with it. Have that courage to start to make some steps. Have that courage to know that you may fail. Have that courage to know that things might be hard. That you may not be a success overnight. That you may not lose 10 kilos overnight. That you may be crap at playing the guitar. You may be rubbish at that sport. If you enjoy it, go and do it. If you want a business, start. You know, business is about failing. No one starts a successful business overnight. You know, if you go out, read the books, you know, listen to the audios, listen to podcasts, you've got to get out there and you've got to be willing to fail. You've got to have the courage to take some knocks, to have some no's, to lose some money, to have people say to you that it isn't going to work, for it not to work for a while. But keep pursuing and moving forward. The key thing is to just keep moving, just keep trying, finding new things, okay? It's so important to just have courage to do something. Calculated risk, but do something, right? Really so important, you know? And a big thing, like we said before, is about going to sleep with that dream. Figure out what it is that you want from life. Write down your goals every single night. Write them down. Look at them. The last thing you do before you go to bed, look at your dreams and allow your brain to start to dream and manifest about them. You know, so often you go to bed and you dream about what it was you were thinking about last. So if you were watching a certain TV show, you dream about that. If you read a Facebook message from a group of friends, they're in your dream. If you're thinking about work, that's in your dream. So how good would it be to think the very last thing before you go to bed about whatever it is you want from life? You know, when you wake up in the morning and you know, go to sleep with a dream, wake up with a purpose. When you wake up having dreamt about your dreams all night, how awesome would that be to just go, do you know what? What I saw in my head overnight was awesome. It was far better than dreaming all night about that crap at work or you know, having the weird dreams that have got all my mates in it and that kind of stuff. So amazing to actually dream about your dreams, to have positive dreams and wake up absolutely inspired to get out there and do something. And so guys, again, as you're coming on, please do say hey. Let me know that you're on here. Say hello. Tag anyone that you think needs to be in here. And again, if you watch these regularly, please do just hit your screen, hit the share button and help this get out. So Keisha, hey, how are you, by the way? Hey, Kylie. Hey, Dee. Who else have we got here? Hey, Paul. Hey, Monica, how you doing? Monica's invited Regina. Thanks for that, Monica. Hey, Tracy, I saw you were a little late there tonight. And Tracy said she's read the Celestine Prophecy. It's a great book. So yeah, really important, guys. You know, having your dreams, and the key thing is, and if you're taking notes, do take this as a note. You only have one life. So important. I think sometimes we lose perspective of this. You only have one life. Okay, this is it. This isn't a dress rehearsal. Think back 10 years. Everybody who's on here is definitely 30, right? Think back 10 years. How quick it's gone. Think back to like when you were 20. 19, 20, starting going in the, well, probably already going in the pubs, well in the pubs by then at 19, 20, but like, you know, really in the peak youthfulness of your life. It feels like yesterday, right? But say for me, I'm 37 now. That's 18 years ago. I've been as long since I was 18 as I've been alive now. That's amazing. Like it literally felt so much longer to get to 18 than it did to now. Some of you might have kids that are already 18. That timeline goes like that. So think how fast the next 18 years may go. And life is short and it's flying by. So quick. You know, and you have one life, and just look and ask yourself that question. All these things that you're scared about that stop you, is it worth that allowing you to not live your dreams? Is it worth it when you get on your deathbed to have the regret that you've never done whatever it is you want to do? You never committed fully. You never gave it your full attention. You never sacrificed. If you want to be, you know, a certain dress size, that you never put in work, that you continue to eat and not show some kind of self-control, and all you ever wanted to be was skinny and you never made it. As a guy, you know, if you wanted to be buff, you never made it. You always wanted to play the guitar. You always wanted to, you know, kiss the girl. You always wanted to have a business. You always wanted to, you know, leave your job, do something else. Whatever it be, you wanted a degree. You wanted to achieve something. You wanted to run a marathon. Absolutely whatever you could want to do. Do you want to get to your, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s when a lot of this stuff, you may have no chance anymore? I mean, bear in mind, Colonel Sanders didn't start KFC until I think he was in his 70s. Could have been 80. But you look and go, that's obviously rare that someone would do something so life-changing at that point in time. But do you want to get to that point where you literally go, it's never going to happen now? Do you want to end your working life having hated your job the whole time? Do you want to spend the next however many years with relationships that you hate, around people who drag you down and make you feel crap? You know, with a level of health that you don't want. You know, because life is flying by, and one day you're going to look back and realize that you've missed it. Life's gone past. You know, great quote from Oprah. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. You know, for most people, they spend more time looking at and planning a trip to Bali looking at and determining what restaurant they're going to eat in. I know people that they'll spend an hour or more like looking on review sites for a restaurant, how long they spend picking a hotel, what flight they're going to take on the holidays, all this stuff that people spend so much time on. So many people, their biggest dream and desire is a trip abroad or whatever it be. And you look and go, but for a couple of weeks, how much effort goes into these things, and what we've got is now. We're in life. We're in adventure, and we can choose to make it whatever we want it to be. Another great quote from Michael Jordan. Some people make it happen. Some people wish it could happen. Some people want it to happen. Some people wish it could happen, and others make it happen. I say there's some people who make things happen. There's some people watch what happens, and there's some people say, what the hell just happened? Okay? Which do you want to be? Do you want to be one of those people who watches other people forever and their happiness and their success and kind of hate a little bit? Those people who are jealous, those people who have envy? Or do you be one of those people who gets out and makes what you want come to life? And it all comes down to just taking that chance. So important to just take a chance. Because again, what's the worst that could happen? If you're not willing to risk the usual, you'll have to settle for the ordinary. If you're not willing to risk the usual, you'll have to settle for the ordinary. It's so important to look and go, is what you're doing at the moment, is the life you're living, is the body you've got, is the money you're earning, is what you do at night, is the friends that you have, is how you spend your social time, how you spend your weekend, is it that great that the risk is so high that you can't do something different? Really, really interesting question to ask. Is what you've got going on now that great that it's worth, not taking a bit of a risk for what could be? I can go, for most instances, a couple of years of a little bit of hard work and you can do almost anything. Or at least be well on the process to that. Versus, do we just stay how things are, not really being too happy, and just dealing with life as it is? Great quote. Risk is not something to run from. It's something to test your true potential. Okay, risk is not something to run from. It's to test your true potential. Now, you've got the potential to be absolutely anything that you want to be. I truly believe that, for 95% of anything that's possible in life, you could do it if you set your heart to it. There's most things that you don't need some superhuman strength, some superhuman ability. For most things, it comes down to commitment. And I ask you, are you willing to commit to do whatever it is that you want? If you ask yourself, is this physically possible that I could do this? For almost anything, the answer is yes. Is it physically possible? Will it be hard? Maybe so. Will it take effort? Maybe so. Might you suffer some knocks along the way? Damage your pride, lose some time, lose a bit of social time, spend some money, fail a few times, move forward, learn, grow. Yes, because nothing comes for free, and if it did, everybody would have it, and then we wouldn't have normal, we wouldn't have success and failure. It would just be normal, and how boring would the world be if everything was just like this amazingness all the time? Like it'd be tiring. You need the drama, you need the sorrow in order to make the happiness happy. If we didn't have the sorrow, if we didn't have the failure, you wouldn't have the happy. So we got to get out of the normal and move towards the happy. Move ourselves there. Winston Churchill said that success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Now, I think this is a clincher for most people. Success is moving from failure to failure without any loss of enthusiasm. The problem for most people is either the fear of something not quite working out right stops them, or the minute something doesn't go right, it's just an excuse to go, right, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. Right, that's it. I didn't knock the pins down at bowling. I'm giving up. That was me when I was a kid. Didn't knock the pins down. That was it. I threw a paddy and I was out of there. In time, became a very good 10-pin bowler. I'm not that good anymore, but I was for a while. But the key thing is that we've got to be willing to suffer a little bit of failure. We've got to be willing to maybe be a little bit embarrassed. We've got to be willing to feel a bit of fear. I used to hate public speaking. Now I do this all the time. I've spoken in front of hundreds of people. I used to absolutely hate it. The first time I did a public speech, honestly, I wanted to die. It was awful. I spoke about something that I thought I knew about, and it was just the worst. There's 3 minutes I did a presentation for. It was the worst few minutes of my life, and it was only in front of 6 people. But I kept trying and I improved. I wanted to coach, I wanted to speak, I wanted to help people, and I kept trying and I improved. But probably along the way, I've made a bit of an idiot of myself. Probably along the way, I've done some awful presentations. Probably along the way, I've lost a lot of people that have gone, oh God, Dave's rubbish. But I've kept going. Things don't always go right in my business. They often go wrong. Things that we try and do don't work. Spend money on things that don't come off. Put effort into people who quit. Try and do things that don't work. Suggest things that people don't like. That's what it is. You make some money, you lose some money. That's business. But the key thing is along the way, you gather data and you figure out what people want. You figure out what works for me. If it's fitness, you'll figure out what works for you. If it's health, you figure out what works for you. If you play music, you'll do some stuff, you'll be a bit rubbish, but you'll learn, you'll find your own style. Whatever it be, you find your own flow, but you can only do that by trying. That's the key thing. You've got to try. You've got to be in it to win it. You've got to be on the field to win. And I can tell you one thing that's absolutely for sure. No one becomes a champion without thousands and thousands of hours of practice. You don't become a champion on the field of play, you become a champion behind closed doors. Grafting away where nobody can see. Working away when no one can see you. But the great thing is then you get to enjoy life in its fullest, doing whatever it is that you want to do. You just got to break away from those fears and make that decision that it's worth it, and figure out what you can do and make the small steps every single day, disregarding the feelings of others, disregarding the thoughts of others. Because you're pursuing your dream. Why? Because you're worth it. Choose to choose you. Choose to choose yourself. Choose to choose your life. Choose to choose your future. Make time in your diary. Book that date with your dreams. Make time in the diary for you and what you want. Find people who will help you. There's another great quote I'm going to finish with. Take up one idea. Make that one idea your life. Think of it. Dream of it. Live on that idea. Let the brain muscles and every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. I love that. Life will go on around you no matter what. You will operate within your responsibilities no matter what. You'll get up for work, you'll sort out the kids, you'll do all of this stuff. But if there's any one thing I can, please plead with you to do, it's to take an idea and whatever it is that you want. Think about it all of the time. Write it down, put it in a picture, set it in your goals every single night. Think how you can do it. Stop talking about the news, stop going on Instagram, stop sharing cat memes. Think about your dreams and how you can move forward every single day, just a little bit towards it, because action solves all problems. Success builds on success. One good habit leads to another. And if you take that idea and you think about it and you dream about it and you let your body just be full of your passion towards that, somehow you'll get there. You'll make it happen. You'll draw what you need towards you. The forces of the universe will work for you, I promise. It may not look exactly how you want it to look, but it will come. All you've got to do is keep it in the front of your mind and make sure it happens. So that's it for me tonight, guys. Let me just whip through these comments. By the way, before I finish, guys, just if you've watched this, if you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Say thanks, Dave. If someone needs to see this, please tag them in it. If you watch these regularly, please do share it. And again, if you want to talk to me about any of this stuff, if you're feeling stuck, if you want to have a chat, please do contact me. I do have people just contact me. Please do. I'm always happy to see if I can help. So just let me know. Don't be a stranger. Someone said that they were laughing at me saying woo woo. Regina, hey, how are you? Who have we got? Oh, Tracy said she was laughing at a little bit of woo woo. Dee said 30 years. 30 years. Dee was looking back and saying that she'd been hiding from her dreams from. Who have we got? More from Dee, more from Paul. Cheers, Paul. Paul says the live was great. Dee says choose to choose me. Please do, guys. Choose to choose you. It's something that I just, I'm so passionate about. Choose to choose you. Write it down. Choose you. Because that's where you should be prioritizing it at any given point in time. Thanks, Monica. Right, well, that's it. Monica says action solves all problems. Absolutely, my number one quote. Action does solve all problems. When you take action, it's amazing what happens in front of you. So guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, anytime, reach out, pick up the phone, say hello. Always happy to chat. We're here every single week, 6 p.m. WA time, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.